Hello, boys and girls. My name is Mr. Mazer, and I am going to be your art teacher this year. Now, before you come to school, I'm going to introduce you to a couple basic elements of art that are going to help you become a better artist. Before we do that, we're going to read this book called Circle Rolls. This is a good book to introduce you to the art elements of shape and line. Circle rolls. Oval rocks. Square sits like a box. Circle rolls. Rectangle stands. Triangle points without any hands. Circle rolls never stops. Hits point. Circle pops. Circle drops as tiny bits, which land on square as it sits. Square sneezes. Diamond trips. Pushes star, star tips. Star tumbles end to end. Bumps line, makes it bend. Bent line becomes a slide. Shapes glide. And fly. And collide. Whirl, twirl, flip, flop. Octagon says, shapes, stop. Star rises, buffs its shine. Untips diamond, all straighten line. Heart appears and gathers bits off the ground where square sits. They piece together one bit, two, using tape and globs of glue. Heart double checks, no more holes. Ready, set, circle rolls. So, in that book, we learned some really great shapes to use in art. We learned circle and how it rolls, oval, square, rectangle, triangle, and heart. So let's get our magic fingers out. I know you have a magic finger. Let's point it up. Let's make a circle with our magic finger. We're going to take our finger and go all the way around just like that and make a big, big circle. Or we can make a tiny little circle too. Now let's use our magic finger and make an oval. Just like that. And we can do it long like this. Or we can do it tall like this. Now let's make a square. So we're going to take our finger and we're going to go over, down, back over, and up. Next, we're going to make a triangle. So we're going to take our finger and go down the mountain, over, and up the mountain. Do that again. Over, across, and up. And the last shape we're going to do is a rectangle. We're going to draw it across, down, and over, and back up, just like that. Very good. Now, today we're going to create a drawing using all of those special shapes that we just learned. Now, I'm going to show you how. So, to create our drawing today, we're going to need one sheet of paper. You're going to need some crayons to draw with, and our imaginations. So, we're going to use the crayons to create some simple shapes. Now the first shape we did learn about was a circle. So I'm going to draw a yellow circle. Now, one thing that artists do is they use their imagination to turn shapes into different things. So I am going to use my imagination and turn this yellow circle into a sun. And I'm going to add some lines coming off of my yellow sun. I'm going to do some fun zigzag lines and some straight lines, just like that. Now, another shape I could make is a square. And I'm going to use my blue crayon and make a nice big square. And on top of my blue square, I'm going to make a purple triangle. Oop. Sometimes our crayons break, and that's okay. Now, what do you think this looks like? Square on with a triangle on top. That kind of looks like a house, right? So I'm going to turn it into a house. I'm going to use a rectangle to create a door. And I'm going to make some windows. And those would be what kind of a shape? Square shape. Very good. And I could add a little circle. Now, another thing I could make with those shapes, if I wanted to be super creative, I could make a rectangle and a triangle on top. And what does that look like flying through the air? Could be a pencil, could be a crayon, could even be a rocket ship. If I wanted it to be a rocket ship, I'm going to add a wing and maybe some fire coming out of the back. Ooh, it's a rocket flying through the air. Now, artists also use lines in their artwork. So I'm going to create the ground using, you could use a straight line. You could make your ground look like grass and do a zigzaggy line. You could do grass that's kind of curvy, so it looks like a hill. Any kind of grass you want. And maybe I'm going to add a flower over here. I'm going to do a circle. And then I'm going to add some petals to my circle here. And I'm going to add a straight line. And that's going to make my flower. Now, boys and girls, what I want you to do is create a drawing of anything you like and use basic shapes to make it. You can use circles, you can use squares, you can use triangles, you can even use some of those more difficult shapes we learned about, like hearts and even octagons. If you're a really smart, clever artist, you can find ways to use those in your drawings too. So, that's the art activity for today. I can't wait to see what you create.